Listen carefully, because there may come a moment when your body is still functioning, yet your life quietly begins to fade without you realizing it. I'm 84 years old, and over the years, I have noticed two very different ways people grow old. Some people reach their 80s still full of life. They laugh loudly, prepare their own meals, shop confidently, remember important dates, and wake up each morning feeling engaged with the world around them. Others begin to fade long before death arrives. Their world shrinks, their strength weakens, and their presence becomes quieter with each passing year. What is frightening is that this decline usually doesn't start with a major illness. More often, it begins with small everyday habits that seem harmless at first. My name is William. I am 84 years old, and today I want to share 6 simple habits I have seen among older adults who remain mentally alert, emotionally vibrant, and physically independent well into their 80s. Scientists sometimes refer to them as superagers, though most appear completely ordinary. They are not extraordinary athletes or people relying on miracle cures. In most cases, they simply protect small daily routines that keep their mind, body, and spirit connected to life. That is what many people fail to understand. The habits that quietly damage aging rarely look dangerous in the beginning. Growing old badly does not happen overnight. It happens little by little through routines that are neglected. If staying independent after 70 matters to you, please like this video, because many people don't realize they are losing their freedom until others begin noticing the changes before they do. Let's start with the first habit, one that changed my life more than I ever expected. People who age well after 75 expose themselves to morning sunlight soon after waking up. Before turning on the television, before reading bad news, before sitting alone with worried thoughts, they open the curtains, step outside, and allow natural light into their eyes. A few years ago, after my wife Jessica died, I unknowingly slipped into a harmful routine. I began sleeping later and leaving the curtains closed. The house stayed dark until midday. Many mornings, I sat silently in my robe, drinking cold coffee while scrolling through depressing headlines. Gradually, something troubling began to happen. My sleep became worse. My energy disappeared. Even my legs started feeling heavier with each week. Then one morning my grandson walked into the kitchen, paused, and softly asked, "Grandpa, why is it always so dark in here?" His words struck me deeply because suddenly I could see the truth myself. The house no longer felt alive, and neither did I. Sometimes the earliest sign of decline is not physical weakness. It is emotional withdrawal. That same day, I opened every curtain in the house. Sunlight filled the rooms, dust drifted through the air, and for the first time in months, the home felt awake again. Researchers now understand that morning light helps regulate sleep, mood, memory, serotonin, and melatonin levels. But emotionally, it does something even more powerful. It reminds the brain that life is still moving forward. Sunlight tells the nervous system that the world still expects your participation. Now let's talk about the second habit. It sounds incredibly simple, but it has a major impact on how older bodies handle stress. People who age well tend to start their mornings gently rather than harshly. Warm tea, warm water, slow movement, and peaceful routines become important. Most younger people don't realize how sensitive the nervous system becomes after 75. One bitterly cold winter morning, I drank a glass of ice water immediately after waking because I thought it would help energize me. Instead, my hands became stiff, my stomach cramped, and I felt strangely uncomfortable for almost an hour. That experience taught me something valuable: aging bodies respond far better to comfort than shock. After 80, calmness itself becomes a kind of medicine. Now each morning I slowly boil water, hold a warm cup in both hands, and sit quietly by the window while the house slowly comes to life. Just 10 peaceful minutes. Yet emotionally, those 10 minutes transformed my days. Many older adults do not become physically exhausted first. They become emotionally exhausted first. Endless stress, noise, and worry about the future slowly wear them down. Simple calming rituals protect the nervous system before anxiety has a chance to take control of the entire day. And the habits that follow may help prevent one of the most painful and lonely parts of aging, something many people never realize until they are already living through it. Now let's move to the third habit, one that may determine whether a person remains independent in old age or eventually needs help with simple daily activities. Older adults who stay healthy make protecting their muscles a priority. Not because they want to look athletic, but because after 80, muscle becomes essential for survival. A friend of mine named Jacob learned this lesson in a painful way. At 81, he still appeared healthy on the surface. He was slim, neat, and reasonably active. But one rainy afternoon, while stepping off a curb outside a pharmacy, he slipped and fell. What shook him most was not the fall itself, but the realization that he no longer had the strength to lift himself back up. Later, he told me quietly, "William, that was the moment I understood my body could no longer save itself." Loss of strength often embarrasses people long before it completely limits them. After 70, muscle naturally decreases year after year. And when older adults rely heavily on sugary foods, processed meals, or toast or frequently skip eating altogether, that decline speeds up more than most people realize. The weakening happens gradually. Opening jars becomes difficult. Climbing stairs feels harder. Getting out of a chair takes more effort. Eventually, even family members and children begin noticing the changes. That is when it becomes truly dangerous. Yet many adults who remain strong well into their 80s follow one simple routine: they eat protein early in the day. Eggs, yogurt, beans, nuts, small but consistent ways of rebuilding strength. Because maintaining strength after 80 is not about bursts of motivation. It is about steady repetition. Every breakfast either supports your independence or slowly chips away at it. Now let's discuss the fourth habit, one that surprised me deeply when I finally understood its importance. People who age successfully continue using their hands every day. They cook meals, tend gardens, fold clothes, write notes, button shirts carefully, and handle small physical tasks. These simple movements stimulate important areas of the brain linked to memory, coordination, and awareness. Unfortunately, modern convenience slowly removes many of these activities. Delivery services, frozen dinners, easy slip-on shoes, and machines doing most tasks can quietly reduce daily movement. Over time, many older adults stop actively participating in life with their bodies. After Jessica passed away, I almost stopped cooking completely. I relied on microwave meals, paper plates, and plastic utensils. Then one evening, I realized I had not sliced vegetables or written anything by hand for nearly 3 weeks. Life had become passive. And when life becomes too effortless, the brain often ages more quickly. So I deliberately returned to small physical routines. I stirred soup slowly, watered plants, peeled apples, and fixed little things around the house. Surprisingly, my mind began feeling sharper again because movement does more than strengthen the body. It keeps the brain emotionally tied to purpose and engagement. Now we come to the fifth habit, which may be the most emotionally powerful of all. People who age well continue using their voice every single day. They greet strangers, chat with cashiers, read out loud, or softly sing while cooking, even when they live alone. About a year after my wife died, I experienced something frightening. One evening, I realized I had barely spoken aloud for nearly 2 entire days. No visitors, no phone calls, no conversations, only silence. And that silence felt heavy, both inside the house and inside me. Silence can age a person faster than wrinkles ever could. Many older adults fail to recognize how deeply isolation affects the mind over time. The less they speak, the more emotionally disconnected they often become from the world around them. But older adults who remain emotionally healthy interrupt that silence intentionally. They greet neighbors warmly, talk to their pets, and laugh during brief conversations. These moments may seem small, but emotionally they carry enormous value. Your voice is more than communication. It is evidence that part of you is still reaching outward toward life. And finally, we arrive at the sixth habit, which may matter more than all the others combined. People who remain mentally vibrant after 80 always have something small to look forward to each day. It may be a favorite breakfast, feeding birds in the morning, calling grandchildren, visiting a local bakery, or watching football on Sunday. Small moments of anticipation. Small reasons to keep moving. Because the greatest danger in aging is not only physical decline. It is losing emotional connection with life itself. People often stop looking forward to life before they stop living. One of the brain's key motivation chemicals, dopamine, becomes active when we expect something enjoyable. Yet many older adults slowly lose that sense of expectation without noticing. Their days become repetitive and emotionally empty. The future begins shrinking emotionally before the body even weakens physically. But healthy older adults protect expectations carefully because it keeps the mind connected to tomorrow. So remember this, none of these habits seems dramatic. And that is exactly why people underestimate them. Yet repeated day after day over many years, they quietly shape the way a people grow old.